Hey guys, what's going on? It's Aditi here, your intuitive marketing strategist and leadership coach. So today we're doing a very special topic. I want to start talking about my health journey. I have been getting a lot of questions and I have been intuitively guided to talk about it more. So here I am. I'm doing it afraid. I also got a new mic that I'm excited about. Can you guys hear me well? Can you guys hear me okay? I want to see how that's going for y'all. And yeah, so let's make sure this is working, make sure I'm live. Okay, cool. So I am going to talk about today the journey from me gaining the weight and then the journey as I've started to release the weight and then kind of life now and moving forward. So my name is Aditi, as I mentioned, and I recently released 40 pounds off my body. Yay! But it's after 10 years. So I had been trying to lose weight for a really long time and nothing was really working. And finally, something started working a few years ago. And, things have been moving along. And I wanted to share my journey, hopefully to inspire somebody out there who's maybe going through the same thing or who has gone through the same thing and knows what it feels like. But either way, I just feel like there's a lot of information out there that isn't helpful. And I hope that this can be helpful for someone who is going through the journey themselves. All right, so let's start with our journey from the past. Okay, so 15 years ago, I had a traumatic incident that really, really affected me negatively. And it was a lot. And, I got bullied. I got called names. I got told, people sent me anonymous messages online and called me really mean names. They called me fat. They called me ugly. I'm afraid I'm going to start crying, you guys, so just bear with me. Whew. Okay. They said a lot of mean things that really affected me and stayed with me for a very long time. And I'm clearly still processing through a lot of it. But so anyways, that kind of kept me stuck in this holding pattern because I couldn't get past that, And around that time, I started going to, all right, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so I had a few friends and we used to go out to eat. We started driving and all this stuff. And I think that started translating into a buffer for me. It became this escape. It became this fun thing that we did, going out with your friends and eating out, having a good time. And, that's kind of where I think I learned the idea of an escape, but I didn't know that I was doing that. Going out, drinking, eating, partying, I started building all these buffers in my life. So my master coach, her name is Brooke Castillo. She's a weight loss coach and a life coach, and she calls them buffers. And I think that's a great way to talk about it. So buffers are really when you're trying to numb your pain and not really pay attention to what you're feeling. It's basically avoiding your feelings. That's the best way to put it. Okay. So I was avoiding my feelings because I was getting bullied and I had all this shit going on and I felt like everyone hated me and I wanted to escape. And, I got into college in Washington, D.C. and I was super excited to be far away from everyone. I was like, all right, I'm going to get away. This is going to be great, And so, but the thing is, it just kept continuing. I just kept having these buffers. And again, I didn't know, right? I was just trying to figure things out. And over the years, I really tried a lot of things. I tried Weight Watchers. I tried Jenny Craig. I tried a lot of things. I can't even remember the name of all of the programs that I tried, but I tried a lot of things. When I graduated from college, I actually joined Weight Watchers and I did lose 20 pounds. But the thing is, I gained it back. And so what was happening was I have a lot of emotions, and I didn't know how to manage it. So my journey to actually releasing the weight started when I started to learn how to manage my emotions. And the way it kind of blew up in my face was when I moved to Chicago for grad school and I fell in love, and it just kind of like took my emotions to another level. Like I was so in love, and I was just, I don't know, and I just felt, I just felt like not good enough. I didn't feel like I was worthy of this love and like all this stuff. And that's when my depression really peaked, right? Because I just like completely hated everything. Like that's when I realized like I hate my life, I hate everything, like I hate how I look, like etc. And it kind of blew up in my face. And so I couldn't run away from it anymore, you guys. I couldn't escape. Those buffers were not working now. Food wasn't working, alcohol wasn't working, partying wasn't working. Like I didn't want to do any of it. And it just wasn't, so basically the food wasn't working, right? Nothing was allowing me to escape me from my feelings. And that was a problem because that is what I guess was using to escape from life, from whatever, And so for a while, for I think 5 years in between, I kind of just gave up. Like I was like, all right, you know what? I just want to be happy. Like screw this. And then I didn't want to be like that token, fat, miserable, sad, insecure girl, So I was like, you know what? I'm going to be happy. So I started a blog. You guys might remember some of it. I livewithjoy.com. And I started talking about living with joy. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let this circumstance make me feel like shit. I'm going to move through it. So I started doing things to make me happy. And although my happiness increased in some ways, I still had a lot of pain sitting inside of me that I wasn't dealing with. You know what I mean? So it was almost like this false pleasures that I was adding into my life and this false happiness. And that wasn't doing anything, because it's false happiness. So I'm sitting here, I'm pretending I'm happy, I'm thinking I'm happy, I'm moving along with life, and things fall apart, here and there and whatever. And another thing I did was I overcompensated because I felt like I wasn't good enough because of my overweight body, that I overworked. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be the baddest bitch here at work, and I'm going to get promotions. I'm going to make money. I'm going to do this. So like overworking became a buffer too. Over drinking, overeating, like all of these buffers became what I kind of escaped life from. And overworking is such a tough one too, because you don't realize it. You're like, oh, well, I'm just working hard to build my career. Like I'm just hustling. Like I'm just doing what everyone else is doing. You know what I mean? So all these buffers, right? And I was overworking to overcompensate for how I felt about myself. Now, let me tell you, I was successful. I was in a great job and I was doing great things. So like that part of my life made me feel better about myself than the rest of it. So when I get to Chicago, right, everything blows up in my face and I just go into complete depression, and I just really go within, and I just become this super loner. Like I stopped talking to everyone in my life. And it was really, really hard. And people talk about self-love, like love yourself. And I was just like, I don't know how to love myself. Like, I don't love myself. I don't even like myself. And I didn't know what that even meant or like where to start. So luckily, I was blessed to have amazing mentors and amazing people in my life that they saw me in pain and they wanted to help me. And they had the tools to help me. So I accepted. So I started working with my healer. You guys know I talk about her a lot. I share about her a lot because she has changed my life. I literally tell her that you have brought me back to life, girlfriend. Like, I owe you my life. So shout out to Shweta Iyer. You can check her out at shwetaiyer.com. But she really helped me see like what was going on. She helped me see from an energy perspective on like the imbalances in me and like why I was feeling so depressed, why I was feeling so unhappy. And I really started to heal from the deep, 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 deep within, right? So it started there. I learned how to manage. I'm learning how to manage my emotions. I learned a bunch of tools, and I'm still implementing them every day. So it's a process. You guys, I didn't know this was going to be so hard. Oh my God. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll drop one tear or two, but it's a lot more than that. Okay. Anyways, thank you for holding the space for me, because I'm doing this for that person who really needs to hear this, and I hope this helps you. Okay, so I really started to meet myself, you guys. I took a couple courses with Shweta, and I think one of them was called Relationship Mastery, and it was really about building that relationship with yourself. And I started to get to know myself. I started taking myself out on dates, and I was like, so who are you, Aditi? If I'm going to love you, I want to get to know you. Who are you? What do you like? What kind of foods do you eat? Or what kind of things excite you? You know, I really started to get to know myself on a level that I never had before. And you know, it was just chipping away slowly, slowly, slowly. There were a lot of roadblocks I hit along the way because, you know, when you have all these deep ingrained self-hatred inside of you, or just pain that you're holding on to from stuff that you went through, like, it's really, really hard. Like, it takes so much to, like, work through that. And it gets easier over time. The more I'm, like, working on this and I'm learning, it's getting easier to some level, right? To know what to do when I'm losing my mind, or what to do with these emotions, or whatever, you know? You know, I've always been emotional, but I've never had the space to really just be emotional because, you know, I was called too sensitive, or you just need to toughen up. You're too soft. You're too this. But the truth is, I'm an emotional person, and that doesn't make me weak or bad or anything else that I was made to feel. It's just my gift. You know, crying is the way my body communicates with me. I think crying is the way your body communicates with you. And it's the way my body communicates with me. And I think that's a beautiful, beautiful love language. And I really started to own all of that and start to fall in love with myself. And that's really where the weight loss started, you guys. The weight loss started when I really started to get real with myself and look at my life and look at what I hated. Look at what I hated about myself, and look about what I hated about everything in my life, you know? And that was painful to see because I was happy. I thought I was happy in my life and everything I had created, but I wasn't. And it was painful. It was so painful to see that. It was hard. So if you're going through this journey, know that, like, it's not easy to look at your stuff, but I promise you that over time, you're going to feel so much lighter and so much better and so much more content, I guess. Like, you guys, I'm literally 40 pounds less. Like, what is going on? Like, I'm just like, I can't believe that it's happening now, because there really was a point where I kind of gave up, and I was like, maybe this is just what it is. I don't know. You know, like, I don't know what to do. And so I started that self-discovery process, really started to get to know myself. And, you know, the weight slowly started to melt off as I really started to be more truthful with myself about how I was feeling about things, because I was a people pleaser and I always felt bad to, like, say no or not, like, do things that people wanted me to do, things like that. And I would say yes when I really wanted to say no. And so now it's been really hard to, like, speak my truth and, like, tell people what I'm really feeling, because all these years I've hid or just pushed it down and pretended I wasn't feeling what I really was feeling. And I did something that I didn't want to do. So I was doing things out of integrity. I was doing things that weren't my truth, you know? So, like, if I didn't want to go somewhere, or if I didn't want to talk to somebody, or if I just really needed space right now, I had a hard time honoring it. And, you know, the few times I did try honoring it, even in my 20s, I would get backlash. Like, oh, you're a loser. Like, you're not a party person, or you're this, or you're that, or, like, whatever, right? You know, or just come, please, just come. You know, people all just had different things. And I really got sucked into peer pressure. Like, I'll admit that. I got sucked into peer pressure because I had FOMO. I didn't want to miss out on the party. And remember, it was also my escape. It was my buffer. So I was like, yeah, let's escape from my life. Come on, I hate my life. Let's go do something. Let's party. Let's get drunk. Like, whatever. You know what I mean? And so I've never had an easy time speaking my truth and really honoring my truth or even knowing what my truth was because I was just so disconnected to myself, so disconnected to myself. And I think a lot of us are super disconnected to ourselves. Like, we don't really listen to our intuition, follow our gut, and, we end up in situations that, like, we're just like, oh my God, I should have listened to my gut the first time. And my hope is that me sharing my journey, like, and talking about following your intuition and listening to your gut, inspire some people to listen to their gut, because listening to my gut has transformed my life. And I think it's really your connection to your higher self. And I think that that is really where your inner wisdom is at. So, all right, so life now and then life moving ahead. So I just want to see if there's any comments coming through so I'm able to see it. No need to cry. Always remember. Thank you so much. I couldn't help it. See, I mean, sometimes crying just naturally comes out. And I believe that crying is a form of communication, the way our body talks to us. So crying is not a bad thing. I wholly support crying, you guys, and I want to normalize crying. Crying is normal. Crying is a release from our body. It's a very, very good thing. It's very healing as well. Okay, so I basically, when everything blew up in my face, right? Everything blew up in my face in Chicago, I realized how depressed I was, and I had no idea because I had stuffed it all down inside. I had all this anxiety in me, all this depression in me, all this self-hatred in me, all of this stuff that I was like, wait, what? What? I didn't know all this was inside me. I was surprised myself. So I was like, I don't know what to do with all these emotions and all these feelings. It just felt like this big tidal wave that was like coming out to attack me or something. That's what it felt like. But really, it was my shadow side, the parts of me that I felt really shitty about, and just everything that was really underlying that wasn't really helping. So all this stuff came out, right? Like all this depression, anxiety, like all this stuff. And now I had to deal with it. It's like, all right, what are you depressed about, Aditi? What's going on? And it's like, well, I don't like this. I hate this. I hate the way this person talks to me. Or I feel really trapped here. Or I wish I was making more money. Or I wish I was doing something else. Or this is so hard. I hate this, right? Everything. I had to let it all come out. And it was really ugly. And luckily I had a healer who is so strong and is able to hold the space for all the ugliness to come out, and what does the ugliness look like? It just looks like lots of meltdowns and breakdowns and freakouts and panic attacks. And, it was like an everyday occurrence, and it still is, because I consider myself to be in the middle of my journey right now. I've been about 80 plus pounds overweight. So I've released the first 40. And now I'm taking you guys on the journey with me for the rest of it, because that's what my intuition wants me to do. That's what God wants me to do. So I'm here and I'm talking about it for you, whoever needs to hear this, okay? So if I'm speaking to you, if this is resonating with you, let me know in the comments below. Feel free to send me a message. All right, so life now, all right, and the journey ahead. So like I said, I still have more that I want to release off my body, which means that there's more to heal in my body, right? So what happens is I had all these emotions that got trapped in my body because I didn't feel safe to express it, right? And repressed emotions typically manifest in your body as a disease or an imbalance. So for me, it was weight. For other people, it might be some sort of chronic illness, disease, whatever the imbalance is for you, right? So for me, it was weight. And I realized that each 10 pounds or so that I gained, it was a certain period in my life where I was going through something hard and I didn't process those emotions. I didn't feel those emotions. I just kind of focused on taking action. I either got super depressed or I focused on taking action. So if I took action, again, I'm overworking, over drinking, overeating, whatever, again, escaping, right? So now as I've been releasing the weight, I've had to deal with all of those emotions that I have repressed. And it's not fun. It's not fun. It's not pretty. It's really hard. And just yesterday, I had a breakthrough about a situation. That situation that I spoke about earlier, that happened 15 years ago. That was really, really tough on me. And now all of it is coming out. So all those people that were involved, all of the stuff that was involved, it's like I'm having living nightmares of it coming up. But this is what the process is, because this has been sitting inside of me this whole time, that it's important for it to come up and get released. And that's how the weight is starting to release off my body. So I learned in this documentary, and I've learned in many places, but especially in this documentary, about how emotions that aren't processed, oops, can you guys still see me? Okay. Emotions that aren't processed literally turn into balls of energy, because everything is made of atoms, right? So everything is made of atoms. And if energy isn't constantly moving, it starts to build up and it starts to turn into matter. So the repressed emotions turn into balls, and then they stay in your body and you start expanding, right? That's how it happens. Now, I'm not a scientist. I'm not all those things, but I learned about it. It resonated with me, and it makes a lot of sense. And it really is how I've been working with my healer to release all these repressed emotions. And now the weight is actually able to fall off. So did I change my diet? Yes, I have changed my diet in many ways. But I haven't been able to all this time, and I haven't been able to sustain it because of all the repressed emotions. Okay. So it's all interconnected. So as I've been healing these repressed emotions and I've been able to process that, the weight's falling off, and as I keep releasing this stuff, the weight is going to stay off, because I'm not holding on to all of that garbage anymore. You know what I mean? So I really started to honor myself and get to know myself, and slowly fall in love with myself more and more every day. Some days I don't love myself at all, and I honor that too. I honor whatever it is that's coming up for me. Now, I love wearing off-the-shoulder shirts because it makes me feel pretty and sexy, so that's why you guys can see that I'm wearing it today. I had always wanted to get blue hair, so you guys can see that it's like kind of aqua turquoisey now. So I did it. I started really living bold and doing the things that my heart desired, whether it made sense or not. And that really started making all the difference, because I actually started to honor my own desires, not what everyone else was telling me to do and what everybody else wanted from me. I really started to honor what was coming up for me. And okay, so here's another thing. I signed up to be a dance fitness instructor. So this is the first time I'm ever announcing this anywhere, but I signed up to be a dance fitness instructor. It's something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to be a dance teacher. And if you don't know, I'm trained in Indian classical dance for, I think 8 years. So I used to perform, I used to dance, I used to do all these things, but because I've been so ashamed and embarrassed of my body, I haven't came out to become a dance and fitness instructor. I was like, oh my God, like, what are people going to say? They're going to say I'm a fat girl. They're going to say I'm ugly. All that stuff that people said from the past was like still in my head. And I had to be able to move through it to even come to this place. So I signed up to be a dance fitness instructor, and I'm super nervous. The routine is, it feels hard because I need to build up my stamina. But it's actually this weekend. So I decided, instead of feeling scared and ashamed and embarrassed, I'm just going to tell you guys about it and take you on the journey with me, because I want you to feel inspired to live bold in your own life. Maybe there's something that you've wanted to do that you just haven't feel ready for or confident for, or maybe you have your own body shame going on. So I hope that me sharing my journey with you helps. And so I'm going to be taking you guys on the ride with me to become a certified dance fitness instructor, and I'm scared. I have all these feelings about it, about even being visible, being in front of people, but I'm doing it because this is what I want to do, and this is in my heart, and I'm going to follow that. So, yeah, so I think that is kind of an overview of the journey. If you guys have questions, feel free to put them below. But now I wanted to do a book giveaway in honor of this. So this book is called If I Am So Smart, Why Can't I Lose Weight? Tools to Get It Done by Brooke Castillo, weight loss coach. So this is my master coach, and this is her book, and this is a new edition that she came up with, and I decided that I want to do a giveaway. So if this is a book that you're interested in, if you're interested in learning about weight loss or even just my journey in general and sharing more about it, I'm going to start talking about this journey more. So head over to aditicreative.com/weight loss to get entered to be a part of this. And you can share this video as well for those people, if you know that there's people on your newsfeed or your friends who might benefit from this. So let me give you guys the link. All right, so this is the link. aditticreative.com/weight loss. You guys see that okay? Yeah, so head over to that link. And you guys, I have a before and after picture there from literally 2 years ago, this same time. And it's crazy. Let me show you guys too on here. I want you guys to go check it out. All right, so this is the link. All right, so it's aditticreative.com/weight loss. And then you guys will see this before and after picture. When I saw this the other night, I started bawling, crying, because I was like, oh my God, like I can so clearly see all the pain I was in, but I wasn't, aware of it. I mean, maybe I was aware of it to a certain degree, but I think I just ignored it because I didn't know what to do. Nothing was working. Like I said, I gave up for a while. And so this is me from 2 years ago, the same exact time. And this is me now. So this is right now at 40 pounds down. So I don't know when you are catching this video. So if you're catching this way later, you probably have a new picture up here. So you guys can see that. And yeah, so weight loss giveaway, live bold and step into the life meant for you. And then basically you're going to sign up here for an opportunity to win this book. You can put your name, last name, email address, and I'll be getting back to you guys. I'm probably going to pick somebody in about the next 2 weeks. All right, so sign up so I can get your entry in here. Share this video if you know there's someone who will benefit from it. Okay, so I don't see any other comments coming through, but you guys, this was super scary and super vulnerable for me to share, but I have been feeling very guided to start talking about my journey, and people have been asking me a lot of questions, and I know that this is what God wants me to do, so I did it. And now I'm going to go reward myself with a chillaxing evening for the rest of the night. I hope this helps, and I hope this helps someone who is also an empath. Really, more than anything, I hope this helps other empaths, because I feel like people who are empaths, one, don't even know they're empaths. They don't even know they're sensitive. And, it can be really hard to manage your emotions, especially if you're in an environment where nobody is giving you the space to do it. And, yeah, so I hope this helps you. And this book, if you want to win it, sign up at aditticreative.com/weight loss. Where's my finger? Right here. All right. Again, if you guys have questions or if you want to share anything, feel free. And I'm excited to take you guys on the rest of this journey with me. All right. Love you guys so much, and look out for more. Bye.